you go.
All right, we back.
All right.
We back. So today's show, we're talking about how to stay in your relationship when things are not going according to plan. When the relationship isn't, all peaches and rainbows. When the relationship isn't in the honeymoon phase anymore. When
you're at your lowest in your relationship. How did you stay? Like, why would you stay? And how to get out of it, or how to make it out of it.
Well, we more so want to help people make it out of it and not just get out of it.
This is true. But everybody's different.
So where you want to start? What's the... Oh, we're going to start with a story or a bullet point to lead into a story?
I would say start with a story. It's always good to start with the foundation of this topic. Why did we even pick this topic?
Okay, so
go ahead.
Let's see. One of the reasons why I feel as though we are qualified to speak on this topic and really help others get through that patch in their lives, simply because we were not always the Levisons, Tony and Brianna, as people see us from the outside. For years, it was a tension between us, simply because of out of the way things that I was doing, things that were not of fitting of a husband. This episode was made for me. Well, shut up and listen.
Don't talk to my friend, my sister.
She started
my best friend.
But I feel like we were qualified to make this episode because we want to show everybody that it takes work to be happy.
Patience.
It takes patience. It takes a grind. Like, a lot of people, when they say grind, they think about jobs and businesses, and they think about working out and getting to the next level, in school or whatever. But nobody really talks about the grind of being married. It's an everyday job, honestly. Like, you have to work. And one of the things that me personally, I didn't realize at the beginning was how much work had to be put in on my side of the marriage. I can admit that I took a lot of things for granted early on in our marriage, and that made things extremely rocky, extremely uncomfortable, and it put us in a place that we did not have to be in. Sure. If I had, I'm just speaking for myself, if I had, grew up faster or looked at the marriage as, something that had to be grown and cultivated and not something that we was just in.
Yeah. I think I grew up a lot faster than Tony did. A lot faster.
Right, you don't have to say a lot faster twice.
Yes,
we all understand you grew up faster.
So that is something that, that's something we got to talk about. I knew the importance of a marriage. I knew what I wanted. I'm very straightforward about what I want in a relationship, and I knew that once we were pregnant, I went straight into mommy mode, and not only mommy mode, but I was also in wife mode. Like, I was ready, and I don't think Tony was used to that. I don't think he was as ready for the marriage as I was. Like, first of all, I didn't know we were going to get married. Like, it was all of a shock. So when he even asked, I was like, my baby, And I already was starting to prepare our life together. And I think that comes with, we got married young. And I also think it just comes with our lifestyles and our previous lifestyles. Like, Tony is a fast-paced person. Like, I'm more of a in the middle. I can be fast-paced, but I can also be slow. Like, I can go with the flow, and Tony is not. Tony is a, like, keep going. Let's keep going. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. And sometimes you got to take a step back and look at the entire picture. And we have so many dynamics to our life that I don't think we both sat down and talked about so many dynamics. We just thought we was like, all right, you strong, I'm strong. We gonna just keep going, and kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Where it was to the point where we were just so tired of pushing and pushing and pushing that it made us take a lot of step back.
Yeah, we had a time there.
It was after Brooklyn. It was 2013. It was when I was pregnant with Brooklyn.
Yeah, we had a time there about 2013 and 2014.
Yeah.
Where we almost didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
We almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
It was that those two long years were exactly what I just said. Mm-hmm. Long, hard, tough, grinded out, fight for years, and I honestly believe that's what defined our marriage.
Yeah.
That once we got out of that storm, and then in 2015 and 16 we began to repair it. Mm-hmm. And we repaired, and then I did a lot of growing and growth. That's when I really got into spiritual and mental growth. Mm-hmm. Around 2016, maybe early 2017, and once I began on my personal journey. Mm-hmm. To grow as a person, that's when I realized I wasn't giving 100% like I should. I wasn't matching her efforts in the marriage. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that can be frustrating on your spouse. And it could cause someone to leave. Mm-hmm. So, question, while I was going through my phase of learning and growing and learning how to be a husband, what made you stick around and see it through?
I invested so much of myself in you. Mm-hmm. I'd be damned if anybody else get the finished product. Not happening. And I know your potential. I always knew that no matter what you did, I was going to support you. And that's always good and bad in a relationship, because everything that you do does not mean that I have to support you. Like, some things I should have, like, I feel like I should have been like, no, let's not do that. I don't think that's smart. But no, I was always like, let's do it. I'm gonna support you 100%. And I still do that. It's still, sometimes it's still a battle, and some things that's just not as smart to do.
Now you do say now, no.
Yeah. I mean, a lot more than I used to, but not enough. But I knew what you were capable of. I knew what you were in the beginning. I knew that I made a drastic change for you, and it was because I loved you. Like, the love was so real for me. Not only did a piece of me did it for my kids. It wasn't a lot of it for my kids, because I seen my mother, grind it out, and she never had to lean on a man for anything. And my stepfather I call him my father. He is amazing. He's an amazing man. And I seen that my mom never had, she was independent. I knew I could do it, basically. I knew that I can physically and financially be without a spouse, but I knew that's not what I wanted to do. So it was important for me to not only see your potential, but I was going to be that push, and I wanted you to be the person I wanted you to be, right? So I think once I verbally started to tell you the things that I wanted you to be, you was like, dang, I can be that, or I am that, and I just reverted back to something else, and that type of thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, for all the people out there in TV land or Facebook and YouTube land, explain some of the trials and tribulations that we went through that caused us to get to that area of turmoil where we were sitting on a beach in Newport News, Virginia, and talking out our problems. Where we were on a drive home to Cleveland and literally, ironing out different details of our relationship, where we spent countless days texting and talking and having conversations in the bed. What led us to having to figure out that we needed growth and we needed growth now?
I think it was my last straw when I was like, I'm done. Like, it was the day. I can laugh about it now. The day you was in the shower.
Okay, we can talk about this one. We can talk about this
one. You sure?
We might as well. The people want to know. The people want to know what the Levisons done been through. So let's give them the story.
So the icing on the cake for me. So before I even get to the icing, I'm gonna get to the batter of the cake. Tony, like me and Tony, we talk about everything. We've always talked about everything. And like it's in 2013, it became like, oh, like, who you messaging? Like, you being weird. And oh, it's my best friend. Who's your best friend? We've been together way too long, and like you just bringing these new best friends up. I'm not for it. It's not. No, we're not doing that. And then the icing on the cake was one day I was in the room. He was in the shower. And I just kept hearing his phone ding. And I'm like, where's his phone? Why I keep going off? Usually, him and his two best friends, his brothers, which is Joe and Nick, they've always had a group chat since group chat was a thing. And every time that they would call or text message, I'd grab it and I'll give it to him. We always knew each other's passwords. Like, we have passwords on our phone because of our kids, not for us. So, like, he picks up my phone and we do.
Or other people.
Yeah, or other people. But, like, it was just weird. So I was like, his phone just kept dinging. I was like, where is his phone? And then I happened to find it face down under his pillow.
Now, I didn't mean to do this. I didn't hide my phone. I had just got done walking Remy, and before I got in the shower, we was getting ready to go to church. I threw my phone on the bed, and that's just so happened where it landed.
Yeah, landed face down under her pillow.
So it looked bad.
So, yes.
It looked bad.
I'm like, all right, what in the world is going on? So I take the phone, I flip it, some female, and sent him a picture of her, and I lost it. When I say I lost it, I lost it.
Yeah, that's the last time I took a shower with the curtain fully closed.
I barged into the bathroom. I opened the shower and I said, boop, boop, boop. I just, like, he was slipping and sliding in the shower. I was so furious. Like, it was so bad.
Here's a comparison. If you've ever seen This Christmas, just imagine all of that belt work going on without him getting out the shower. Standing in the shower, trying to avoid this fury of little Money Mayweather jabs while you full of soap, the water on. Oh, you ain't got nothing to hang on to because the shower curtain didn't already fell.
Man, I was so mad.
That's my favorite story. Shut up, Jaleesa.
Mad.
So I'm trying to get the shower curtain, but the shower curtain didn't already fell. So I'm slipping and sliding, catching jabs, trying to duck and weave, and I ain't weaving and ducking fast enough because I got soap in my hand, on my body.
Reminding you, like, I didn't even tell him, like, what had just transpired. So he was looking dumb in the shower, and I'm just done. So I walk out, I grab my suitcase, and I pack me and at the time it was Lil Tony in Brooklyn, clothes. And he got out the shower. He's like, I'm like, check your phone. And he looked at it. He already knew. So I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm gone. So me and the kids, we left. You got in the car when I was getting ready to leave, and we was talking.
No, you had left, and I called you and told you to come back, and then you came back, and you was like, what is there to talk about? And then we was talking and having a conversation. And then she threw 4 more jabs. Okay? Now, anybody that knows me know I don't like getting hit in my face. So at this point... And I was
aiming for the face every single time.
At this point, she had hit me about 7 times in my face. And then I was like, listen, I understand you mad, but stop punching me in my face. Okay? Don't hit me in my face no more. Then she slapped me again. I was like, you know what? This ain't going nowhere.
Coming downstairs.
Let's cool off.
Right.
And let's talk about this at a later time. So...
I got a hotel. I left. I left and I got us a hotel. It was the night of the BET Awards.
Yes, it was the BET Awards that Chris Brown had just got out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So so me and the kids was there, and I was just talking at the time my two best friends, and just crying my little eyes out, and it was just it was bad. That was a bad night, and I don't know how he found me.
You know how I found you. We ain't gonna say how, but you know how I found you.
I don't know how he found me, but he showed up at the hotel. Out of all the hotels in the world, but anyway, he showed up at the hotel.
She went to a hotel around the corner from the house.
It wasn't around the corner, but like it was in that Newport News little area. It was like a street full of hotels.
It was in the plaza, literally. When you left out of our street, you turned left and went to the next street, and you was there.
Was it that close?
Yes, it was at the hotel in the front of the plaza.
No, I went around.
Yeah,
but my car was around. I parked on the side. You couldn't see my car.
The parking was in the back, but the hotel was in the front. So when you rolled past the street, you seen the cars.
No, my car was on the side. I hid my car on purpose.
Yeah, but the car, you can still see the cars on the side from the street.
Well, I don't know what he's talking about. But he showed up. Unfortunately, I let him in like a dum-dum.
That's not unfortunately, because you let me in and we here now. If you wouldn't have let me in, we probably wouldn't have got to this point.
This is true, but that was dumb to let you in the same day.
Whatever. Well, it didn't end there. We didn't live happily ever after, and all wasn't forgiven.
No.
It literally took. That happened in 2013, right?
No, that happened in 2014.
14. You
sure? Was positive, because Brooklyn was born.
Yeah, it was. I had just came back from Australia. I had North Carolina. I had just came back from South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I had just came back from South Carolina. That was 2014. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get back on like 100% good grounds until
we moved to Maryland. I think when our kitchen caught fire.
It might have been a little bit after that.
Yeah.
When the kitchen caught fire, that's another thing that happened, guys. In this whole little 2-year area, our kitchen caught fire. Mm-hmm. We had a fire in our house when we was living in Virginia.
Why we have a fire?
We had a fire in the house because I put on some noodles. And I fell asleep on the couch, and I fell asleep while the noodles was cooking, and the pan dried, the thing dried out, and the kitchen caught fire. That was probably the scariest day of my life. Mm-hmm. And I think that, coupled with all the stuff that we was going through, that's when my eyes began to open that I needed to change. It wasn't marriage, it wasn't her, it wasn't anything else getting in the way. I had to change. Mm-hmm. And it took a lot of intervention from the inside of myself to understand that I was broken. Okay. And I was broken from trauma that happened to me way before she got to me. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of trauma from before me and her ever met that I was still carrying me, that I didn't realize I was carrying with me. And I had to make peace with that trauma in order for us to move on.
You know what else you did? You started being back into the Bible.
No, I didn't start doing that. I didn't start because remember, hold on guys. Because remember in around 2016, 17, I had completely stopped believing in
all of that.
I didn't.
It was like I'm spiritual. I'm spiritual. I want to know why the celebrities always, once they get famous, all of a sudden that they just spiritual. I want to be just spiritual.
And to this day, I am just spiritual. I'm not religious at all, but I do read the Bible every morning. I do pray to God, but I don't believe in a religion.
Okay. We talk about that. That's a different topic.
That's a different topic for that. We actually have that topic coming later in our show. But I began to dig deep in spirituality, and me connecting to myself on another level is honestly, it may be the reason why we made it. And
I also think Virginia was such a sad place for me.
Yeah, Virginia was bad.
Virginia was such a bad. I don't even I didn't like I have friends at work, like me and my work people, but like we probably like would do stuff outside of work, like probably a total of 5 times, and we were there for 5 years. Like I didn't have anybody in Virginia, like nobody. Like it was, didn't trust people.
Outside, we had one.
Terry and Rachel. That's the only time
that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. We had
so
one.
Like that's family though. Like I didn't have, and they lived so far. So I mean, we was over there a lot, but at the same time, like I didn't. It was never just me and Rachel. It was like and both of our families. So like I never had that time to find my, like I'm being grown and I'm a wife and I'm a mother. Like that's all I knew when I was in Virginia. Wife, mother, work.
Yeah.
Wife, mother, work. That's it. So I think
you didn't understand the concept of being selfish.
Yeah.
Two, you didn't understand the concept of being of self love. What's up, Mook? You didn't understand the concept of self love.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
when I came to Maryland. Oh,
you had that's another thing that's another thing we had to learn. Well, more so you had to learn in the marriage is the self-love aspect of a marriage.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a marriage, it is not a bad thing to be selfish from time to time. When I say selfish, I mean go get your nails done by yourself. Take yourself on a date. Do little simple things without your family. Thank you, Mook. To make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Self-love is the most important love that there is out here. Because you can't love nobody if you can't love yourself. Right. You cannot embrace somebody else's love. And it's not loving somebody else. It's embracing somebody else's love. If you don't love yourself enough, you can't just wake up in the morning and say, "Oh shoot, I look cute," and then you think, no, you have to be able to love the person that you're looking at in the mirror, no matter what the circumstances is going on in your life. You have to love you. And I think what was the turning point in our marriage when we were going through our tough time was simply us taking a second look at how we loved us.
Yeah. This is true.
Because the minute you started indulging in self-love, the minute I started indulging in self and personal development, our marriage literally started to change. It wasn't overnight, but it felt like
instantly.
It felt instantly because it became happier.
Right.
And since we've been in Maryland for 6 years now, I would say. Yes, it'd be 6 in June.
Yeah.
It'd be 6 in June. I would say 4 of the 6 years have been the happiest time of our lives.
Yeah.
Like 4 of the past, like since 2017, has been the absolute happiest. Now, don't get me wrong. We're gonna talk about this part of a relationship next. Financially, the past 4 years have been the worst financial time of our lives.
I wouldn't even say 4. I would say since 2018.
Since about
almost 3.
Yeah,
since you got out the military.
So about 3 years have been the worst financial time of our marriage, but it's been the happiest emotional time of our marriage. So, for those people that don't understand how those two dynamics work, explain to them how we are happier emotionally while we were still like being like just drowned financially.
It was days where I'm just like, oh my God, how are we about to? So in Maryland, rent is so high here compared to where we are born and raised, Cleveland, Ohio. Current state, well, at that time, our rent was $2,150 a month.
Yeah.
$2,150 a month. So,
now Marylanders will look at you and say, "Oh, that's normal."
Right,
but people from Cleveland
like,
and
what?
Even in Virginia and Florida and people that we know that's outside that's not from Maryland will look at us and say, "Why the hell are y'all paying $2,100 a month for a townhouse that you do not own?"
Yep. So it was sometimes like after he got the military, we had to like with the VA was taking forever. It was just a battle. And at the time when you got out the military, I was still working at Dr. Messick's office, and I was only making a little over $17 an hour. The taxes is high here, so I get about at the time probably about $500 taken out of my check every paycheck. So if you do the math, like we wasn't being able to pay our rent for real. So it was days where I would just cry and I would cry, and he would just be like, "We got this," and we have to just continue to believe, and we're gonna pray together, and we just gonna continue to love each other and figure it out and push through. And by having that love and that relationship, like our relationship was so strong, even though the financial piece was so hard and it was a struggle. But by us having that mentality of like, we in this together, no matter what happens, like at all, we are in this together and we gonna make it together. And if we fail, we gonna fail together. And that way, that the ladder, once we get to the top, it's gonna be even better. Better.
I believe it. I told you this the other day. The past 3 years, the heartache, the pain, the trials, the tribulations, the struggles, the hurt, the losses that we've experienced, the suffocation that we've had to go through as a couple over the past 3 years. These next 10 years is going to be worth it. So what I started to do and what I started to incorporate in my daily routine, and she starts to incorporate it in her daily routine, is now when I talk to God, I tell him thank you for the hard times. Thank you for taking everything away from us. Thank you for making us mentally and emotionally grow up by making us see how low we can go.
Right.
How the possibility of how low we can be.
Right.
Because the come up is turning out to be something that we seen coming. We just wanted it to come a little faster.
Right.
The come up is something that we've been saying is going to happen for years.
And it's finally come. Because let me tell you, it was a struggle. A few years ago, I was like, bruh, you keep saying we gonna be out of this state. Like, where we at? We like I feel like I'm still here.
And I used to tell her to be patient. But here's the thing. If you are a couple and you're in that area, the key that you have to realize is this. Don't turn on each other.
Right.
What you have to do is develop. This is how you stay when things aren't right. You have to develop a trust with your significant other like no other. You have to go ask your brother. You have to develop a state of love, trust, affection, spiritual and mental strength when you're in a time of turmoil like you've never had before. Because that time of stress, anxiety, and anguish, it's there to test you.
Right. But you have to also remember, like, being mentally strong in a relationship is different than any other being like mentally strong.
It's not like being mentally strong on your own.
So
it's
you have to think about it. Like, I've had days where I'm completely mentally strong at work. Like, I'm one of the hardest working people you will ever meet. Like, when it comes to my job and my name, I'm there. I'm gonna get it done. But it was some times where I was just so mentally drained from work, and I would come home and I'm just like mentally like not in the good space for a relationship. So I think that's where I trust him to pick me up. I trust that when I'm low, he's high, and we're gonna balance each other out. So that's how I kind of deal with it.
And honestly, that goes for me. I'm gonna piggyback off of last week's topic in communication. That right there, that aspect of a relationship you just talked about. When you're low, I'm high, and when I'm low, you're high, and we're able to balance each other out. That can't be accomplished without communication.
Right.
It can't. You can't have that bond, that jail time. You can't have that time of comfort without communication.
Yes, girl.
It was my idea.
He lying.
You can't have that level of trust for your spouse if you're not talking, if you're not communicating, if you're not helping each other. You know, if you don't have a common goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a common goal in mind, like we didn't have a common goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
We were just going. We were just going and
dealing with things like as they come to us. And
when things got hard, you know, with us not having a plan, it could have been easy. It could have been easy for us to quit.
Right.
It could have been easy for us to quit because
sometimes I wanted to.
Because so many people that we grew up with expected us to not make it.
Mm-hmm.
They expected us because of the person that I was, you know, they expected us not to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we sat down and said we will not give nobody the gratification of saying, see, I told you. We loved each other too much.
Right.
We love each other too much now. I think I love her more now than I've ever loved her in my life.
Oh, baby, I've been loving you. Just all this loving.
I knew y'all would make it. It's been a struggle. So the thing that we want everybody to know is, before you get into marriage, you have to get into the mindset that you ain't just gonna wake up one morning and be Jay and Beyonce. Because they even had their time in the elevator.
No, it's
you have
to work, grind. What you said at the beginning?
You gotta grind.
You gotta grind.
Monday, I grind. Shout out to my boy Eric Thomas. Tuesday, I grind. Wednesday, I grind.
Stop.
No, you don't want to hear that?
No,
you don't want to hear
that. Every morning.
That's my ringtone.
So, I think it's important to have that communication again, to build that trust. Even though our trust was broken at one point in time, and it was broken for 2 years, two very hard years, and you have to trust that it's going to work out. But it's okay if it doesn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's okay if it does not. You have to know yourself. You have to learn yourself, and that comes with self-love. Once you have that self-love and you have grown, some people outgrow each other, and that's totally fine, but we want you to grow with each other. You know, at the beginning, at the beginning of this video, I said that I grew up way faster than Tony. Drastically faster than Tony for our first, 4 years of marriage?
I'll say 3.
3 to 4 years?
I'll say 3. Because around 2014, that's when I started to wake up.
Yeah, halfway through the year.
3.5. I give you 3.5.
All right, 3.5 years.
You ain't gonna get 4. You ain't gonna get 4 whole years. That's a long time.
That's where, and then we had that switch where that balance where I was just like, all right, he's starting to grow, so I'm gonna go have fun. I'm gonna find myself too while he growing. I'm gonna find myself. So then that's when we finally balance. Like, it's important to have that communication and to figure out, like, is this for us? And we had that conversation. It was a hard conversation to have.
Oh,
we had
Courtney,
it.
You gonna have your day in court, Courtney.
We had it.
Your day in court.
What? What you say? He still yes.
She gonna have her day in court. You gonna come sit in this chair.
Yes.
And you gonna have to get interviewed by Childish
within the next few weeks. So you better be ready. But so it's important to have that communication, and to build the trust when your trust is broken. And another point to it is self-love. Like, you have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Like, I can't stress that enough. And I have never been one of those people like compare and I see a lot of people have that issue, is that comparing
their relationship to somebody else's
right, and every relationship is different, but also people have that compare and contrast with
Yeah, Keish, it's hope for you, baby. You got it's somebody. You know, Keish, I'm gonna find you a man, baby. I'm gonna find you.
You a matchmaker?
A man. I'm about to be a matchmaking thing. Keish, I'm gonna find you a man, cause I know,
Lord Jesus,
you catch, and when they catch, they ain't gonna shoot. They gonna travel.
He's so embarrassing.
Get it? You know, you get the harmonious there. You don't get it.
He's so annoying.
Oh,
so annoying. But yeah, communication is how we made it. So you tell me something. Like, we only talk about all my okay. stuff. Okay. You tell me, like, what made you stay through our hard times after you grew up and was like.
I'm gonna tell you what made me stay. Mm-hmm. I was so afraid to be in the world without her. I was afraid, and as a man, you don't hear men say that a lot. I was afraid to live in a world without her because I knew a world without her was a world without a lot. Children won't be there in the picture as often. You know, I would be missing a piece of my heart, my soul. Like I did not want to live in a world without her, so I gave myself an ultimatum. You either gonna be lonely or happy. Pick one. Because I've always told myself, if me and her don't work out, or if she die too soon, I'm not getting married again.
Yeah, we know. We talked about this. I'm gonna kill you dead.
I'm not doing this thing again. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to make her as happy as I can for as long as I can. Mm-hmm. And that meant that Antonio had to become the leader that he's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. They say, the Bible says, society says, the man is the head of the household. But you can't be the man of the house. Men, this is for you. Uh-oh. You can't be the man, the head of the household, if you acting like an ass outside of the household. Mm-hmm. That's just facts. Mm-hmm. If you want to lead,
okay, Pat.
If you want to lead, especially a woman, children, other children, if you want to lead, you cannot inside of yourself be a half-ass dude. You have to go hard everywhere. Guess what? I clean the clothes. I wash clothes. Mm-hmm. I fold laundry. Mm-hmm. I cook dinner. I clean the front yard. I clean the bathroom. And then I also go out and I run a business. Mm-hmm. I make sure she's fine. I take care of the kids. I
take care of my car too.
I'm her mechanic. I make sure the kids get their schoolwork done. Mm-hmm. I can't have a flaw.
I'm not gonna say that.
No, okay, I can't.
I'm not gonna say that.
I can't. Okay, no, okay. You're right. I can't come up 90% in no area. Mm-hmm. It's not a leader. Mm-hmm. I have to get a everywhere, or in my eyes, it's a failure. So men, if you're watching this, you have to realize that in order for your family to be happy, you have to go to a place of growth to make them happy. Because if the family ain't doing right, 9 times out of 10 it's because you're not doing right. I see a lot of men say, "Oh, my girl ain't doing this, my girl ain't doing that." Yeah, it's a lot of girls out here that's doing weird stuff. But what are you doing wrong? Mm-hmm. You can't lead. and this is what I learned. And this is what I learned a long time ago. I grew up in the church. I had my dad for 15 years, and this is what I learned. I learned this. You can't lead until you're able to follow. Mm. And
that's poetry.
Here's the thing. Men, if you don't have any type of higher power that you're following, you can't lead a family. I'm sorry. Listen, I know it's a lot of men out here that don't believe in, religion and God and the Bible. That's fine. But if you don't got some type of higher power that you believe in, what you're going to do is you're going to stunt the growth of everybody else that's following behind you because you won't grow.
Okay.
And if you don't grow, if I stunt the growth of her, then that's going to stunt the growth of my children. And if I stunt the growth of my children, then that's going to stunt the growth of their children. Mm-hmm. You have to think about the long game. So men, if you're out there, fix you. Fix you. If you know it's flaws that your wife, if you know you got flaws that your wife is seeing, don't sit here and say, oh, you do this. You do that. So if you do this, I'm going to do that. You're not leading. You're playing patty cake. Fix whatever it is, because I guarantee you, the reason why she's doing the stuff that you're doing is because if you're supposed to be a leader, it's because you're doing what you're doing. I guarantee you, the minute that you switch up and mean it, she's going to follow. I bet $1,000. If you get up and show consistent growth, she's going to look at herself and say, damn, I need to grow too. You got to. You got to. When you're a man, when you're the head of the household, you have no excuses.
Right.
You can't say, oh, well, I was sick this day. Well, you being sick ain't gonna raise them kids.
Wait, but no, I don't like that. I don't like that.
I get it. But see,
I like that. You are allowed to have.
You're allowed to. Yeah. You're allowed to. But as a man, as a head of a household, you have to make sure, and you have to make sure that you're always growing.
Yes.
Like me.
Always growing.
Like me. When my business wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, and I wasn't doing, and stuff wasn't happening, well, I was borderline depressed.
Okay.
Because you was working. That bothered me.
Right.
Because I wasn't being at the top of my game and everything.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with not necessarily growth, but like being the man of the household where that's considered like failure. Like, I feel like a woman,
you have to be making an effort. You have to make
a woman. No, you don't have to change what you say. You can keep what you say. Like, I think women can be head of households as well, but I think it just depends on the situation. Everybody's relationship is different, and I want you to know that you don't always have to be 100% on every single thing.
You're right. A woman can be head of household. I don't disagree with that. Mm-hmm. A woman can be head of household. Mm-hmm. But listen to what I said. Men, if you want to lead, that's how you lead. If you are okay with taking the back seat, disregard what I just said.
Okay.
But if you want
the way you worded it.
If you want to lead a family, step up. Mm-hmm. Stop doing the bullshit that your wife telling you that you're doing and fix it. Swallow your pride, because your pride will get you messed up real fast. Fix whatever it is that's wrong with you, and then lead.
Self-love.
And you can't lead if you're not following. The greatest leaders of all time were the best followers. Martin Luther King was a great follower of his father and his uncles and God. Malcolm X was a great father, was a great follower. Jordan was even a follower of the Michael Jackson, Beyonce, LeBron James, Barack Obama. They're all great leaders, but they're also amazing followers. Mm-hmm. As a man and the leader of a house, if you're going to be a leader, you have to take the cues and find somebody of good influence and follow them and bring that good influence leadership back to you.
So, who are your great influencers? Like, who did you follow?
Who did I follow?
Mm-hmm. To get you to where you are now today.
I literally had to revert back to what I seen my father do. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. That's what I did. I went back to the nights that my father be up at 2:00 in the morning in the basement working. Mm-hmm. He wasn't doing dumb stuff. He was a leader. I've never seen someone lead in the fashion that he's led. He was a quiet leader. Mm-hmm.
You are not a quiet leader.
Yeah, I know.
You are your mother's child.
Yeah, I talk a lot. But he's a quiet leader. But when my father spoke, you knew to shut up and listen. That's the type of man he was. He wasn't about to say nothing stupid out of the way that you didn't think that was 100. Everything he said was fact. Right. And you couldn't fact check him because he had already fact checked himself. So when I look back and I looked at the people that I needed to follow as far as a leader, I looked at my father first.
Okay.
And then when I began to reach out, I looked at different. I just looked at different men that I seen.
Like who?
You know, may have been like Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington been with his wife for 30 years. You've never seen any type of story about him stepping on. I'm not saying he hasn't done it, but Denzel Washington is a great example of a strong black man.
So did you have anybody local, or you just, after your father, you went straight to like celebrities?
I would say Pastor Tony Lee.
Yeah.
Because he's the only other person. He's the only other man next. And it's been others, but that I really related to from a father-husband standpoint, because you know he's still a shut up, Courtney. He's still a he still has a youth connection to his kids, while still being a figure amongst everybody else. He knows how to balance
right
that public figure life, then that family man life.
Right.
And then I look at the GOAT, Uncle Barry O. Uncle Barack, you know, every time he come on TV, I'm like this.
The fact that my kids really think that's his uncle.
Uncle Barry, my uncle.
My kids really think that Tony uncle is Barack Obama.
And Nelson Mandela. They think that that's my uncle. Then they're gonna forever think that that's their great uncle. Bet not none of y'all tell them otherwise. Because I'll kill you.
Why you gotta go violent?
Because,
you know.
We got 51 minutes on here.
All right.
So,
anybody got questions?
So, go. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Fast.
Anybody
before we get into questions, like, subscribe, share, comment. If you love the show, love the content, whether you're on Facebook Live or if you're watching this on YouTube, like, share, subscribe to our channel, help us grow our community, to reach more, not only couples, but reach more people.
Look at your sister. How much do y'all love me?
How much do we love you?
Like this.
We love you.
This much, sissy.
We love you. We love you a lot. We love you enough to drive to Cleveland to sleep at your house.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We love you enough to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, share, comment. Do the things. Get your friends and tell your friends to get their friends. Then their mamas and the mans with the baby mamas and all of that stuff like that.
Whatever.
Come pay attention to us. So, does anybody have any questions for us? Before y'all give questions, but I'm going to ask this question. What advice do you have for a woman or a man?
Can I borrow that shirt? No, I'll buy you one.
Bye, Ashley. What advice do you have to a woman or a man that's in a relationship right now, that's thinking about leaving, but can stay?
Okay. First of all, push through, because I'm sick and I'm pushing through. But the advice I would give
to these on punishment mode
is to write down the good and the bad. Does the good outweigh the bad? Is the bad more things that is an expectation from you, or is it really like truly bad stuff that they're doing? Because I'm just going to talk for women. We as women, we have expectations for our man that we don't even tell them that we have expectations for. So I can't expect Tony to dress like this or walk like this if I haven't said it. Like, you have to communicate. Again, that's communication. You have to communicate, like, oh, I want you to be this way.
Hey, no, I think
but that
last week's show should have been a 2-hour show.
That comes to, like, is this really happening? Like, is it expectations just you assume that they should be doing? Like, or is it things that you're thinking in your mind and you're, like, assuming that this is what's going on? Us as women, we also make up our own plots. So we have a scenario. So, oh, Tony, you don't answer my call. Oh, I have a whole situation. Just like yesterday. I'm going to go into yesterday just to give an example.
Oh my God.
Tony loves this gas station. It's called Wawa. It does have the best food, the best drinks, everything.
For a gas station.
It is amazing. No lie.
It's big lit.
Tony goes there every morning that he has his client down in Cape. I'm on the phone with him and he say, hold on. And in the background, the person across the person, oh, you and, like, he had a whole different accent. Oh, you Antonio. And then next thing you know, he said something and then he hung up. I automatically assumed that he said,
first of all, I didn't hang up. She hung up.
No, you hung up. I was going down Baltimore, Annapolis. My phone don't drop. You hung up on me. Anyway,
my phone was
in my head, like I heard the man behind the counter say, "Oh, Antonio, you getting breakfast for your girlfriend, or with your girlfriend?"
They not in Cleveland, Moot.
Oh, you picking up food for your girlfriend? Like, I made a whole scenario. Rachel. I made a whole scenario. So, like, that is something that we as women, we do.
Even though she was playing, she made it a big deal. Though.
Yes, I did. So when he finally called me back, I was like, so, oh, you hung up because your girlfriend, you was placing an order for your girlfriend and he was telling on you. So, like, that's just things that we do. We, like, because we are thinkers, right? We think a lot. We think things through. Like, we are problem solvers by nature. Mm-hmm. So that is something that we do. So instead of, like, making up scenarios, let's start having that conversation. Like, let's be vocal. Like, okay,
it's W-A-W-A, Mook. Wawa. That's how you spell it. It's not in Cleveland.
So that's my advice, is to start having the open conversations and not assume, and to figure it out. Like, you have to weigh the good and the bad. And if the bad outweighs the good, then that's right there. That's clear coat on the paper. Like, you done. You know, like, and you know, my mom is one of those people, like, you break a heart, that's it. Boom. That's how I was raised. Like, that is a blessing and a curse. Like, she ain't play that. My sister, my oldest sister, Moo, she don't play that. You do anything that bother her, bye. Forgiveness is something that I am working on, because that's how I was raised. Like, oh, you did something to me, so now I need to not talk to you. So it's been a process. So that is my advice.
Question. So I read a stat, and this may not be the specific or the correct stat, but I'm gonna say how I read it, and y'all could go fact check me later. It said that 65% of millennials, that's people that were born, that's 38 and younger right now. Millennials are the age group of 21 to 38 right now. So millennials, the divorce rate for millennials is 65 to 74%. Mm-hmm. My question is, and you guys can answer this question also, why do you believe that the divorce rate amongst millennials are so high? 1. 2, how can we pull that divorce rate amongst millennials down so that it is at the divorce rate comparable to the Gen Xers, the generation before us?
I think a lot of people get married just for the title.
Ooh. Speak, baby. Go ahead. Talk to him about that. I'm sipping my wine.
So many people get married just because they want the title or they want to one-up somebody else.
Oh, or they want the ceremony.
I don't really think it's the ceremony. I've met so many people like that doesn't really want to be married. Like, you can have a one night stand with somebody. Like, that's okay. You can have that one night stand and move on. Yeah, but like, you can do that. People want that one night stand. They get married.
Yes, it is, Brittany. It's work.
They have that one night stand. They have a baby, and they assume that they have to get married because of society.
Oh yeah, society.
That's
a big thing too.
Yo, people like, you don't have to be in a relationship to raise a kid. Period. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, me too.
I know that for a fact. My oldest sister has one child, and he has had straight A's all his life. She raised him by herself, and he made it. So society does push that if you have a kid, you have to be married. But also people do it because social media is a blessing and a curse all in one.
I don't want to cut you off. Right. But do you think the teachings of old is starting to revert to the teachings of new? And I say that because back in the African American community, back in the early times, right around slavery was ending and right before Jim Crow, if you had a baby with someone, they married you on the spot.
Right.
So do you believe that the teachings of old is coming back full circle?
No.
Or is it just the mentality of the clout that people are getting?
It's the mentality of the clout.
Okay.
I say that because we have so many people that we know that literally doesn't know history.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, you're right. Yeah.
You know, like, we know history, like, we know it, we get it, and we haven't educated ourselves on that. So I don't think it's that. I think that social media is a blessing and a curse. And
social media is a life.
People want to live their best life on social media.
Social media.
So
lives.
They're like, oh, I'm gonna get married, and like life. Even.
Social media is ruining everybody's life.
No, don't bring that negativity on this Friday. But I think that the divorce rate is so high because people don't really want to be married, and they are getting married because of social media. And I think that's why a lot of people thought we were going to fail, because they assumed that we will only be happy.
Rach, you did a lot of typing, baby. Hold on, Rach. Wait a minute, Rach. I think they quit is easy, but they don't want to work for like communication, but don't actually think of their vows. Better or worse, I still believe if you get someone pregnant, you should marry them. Well, Rach, I mean, you're not in this millennial generation. You like a baby boomer.
What? Why would you talk about her like that?
I'm just playing, Rach. You know I love you to death. You like one of my favorite people in the whole world, which I gotta get you because I ain't talked to you in like 6 months.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't think we were going to get married. I didn't think Tony was the marrying type.
I don't know why, because I'm a catch.
Yes, you're a catch, but...
You on the cusp then, Drake, Rachel, like you right there. Like, you just made the millennial generation.
He's so annoying. But Tony, he never expressed that marriage was... Like, before we were married, we never talked about marriage.
But I always knew that marriage was the goal.
But you have never... in our, 2.5 years that we were...
That's true. Some people don't take the time to get to know one another.
Yes.
And guess what that is? That reverts back to our show from last week. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube right now. Let's go back to this. Like, subscribe, comment, share our YouTube page. Welcome to the Levisons. That's where we are on YouTube. Welcome to the Levisons. But at that point right there, Like that plug.
Your little marketing.
That was a cool ass plug. But back to what you said, they don't get the time to know each other. So that's communication. That is communication, and that is why a lot of people don't stick it out because they don't know each other.
Right.
And I see that.
There's a difference when living with somebody and not living with them. That communication needs to be had before it become one.
I'm a firm believer that before you marry somebody, you need to live with them for 6 months.
And technically, we didn't live together,
but he was always in my house.
So
I knew your tendencies. You knew my tendencies as far as you knew I like to clean up.
I had a what?
You had a drawer.
Oh, I had a drawer.
And you had a closet section.
And I had a little section in the closet.
Yeah, you had a drawer in the closet section. But you have to, what was I saying?
You have to have the communication.
You have to have the communication, and I just honestly believe that people should live together before they embark on marriage. Because living together can make or break a relationship. It really can. Like, if you have a lady that loves to wear weave, and it's hair in the bathroom all the time, and you're a neat freak, that is going to annoy you to the highest level. Cleanliness.
Yeah, some people are not clean.
The way you pay bills. So to alleviate the aspect of potentially having a situation where you are leaving or you want to leave because of things going on in your house, what you should do is you should set up a period of time where you're living together, I say for about 6 months. Because they say it takes 21 days to form a habit, but I think it takes 6 months to really learn somebody's habits. It takes about 6 months to learn what she likes to do in the morning. What's her morning routine? What's my morning routine? Do I have a morning routine at all?
Yes, loud ass alarms.
First of all, when I wake up with Jesus.
How I go?
I wake up with Jesus. So when I wake up, you know you blessed. Now, don't start with the alarms, because when I wake up, you know that God is on your side. Because I'm waking up, I got the amazing alarm going off. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying over the whole family. When I wake up, it's all about Jesus. Yeah, Jesus is first.
I can vouch. He wakes up, and I can feel my little toes being touched. He goes to the end of the bed, and he does pray over us.
You know you waking up with Jesus when you waking up with me.
But before he get up and get moving, before he get up and get moving, he has 10 billion alarms, and they're loud and obnoxious.
I wouldn't say 10 billion. It's like 4.
What time it start?
4:30. My first alarm goes off at 4:30.
What time is the next one?
4:35, 5:36. That's it. But it
starts at 4:30. Who does that?
By the time my 6 o'clock alarm goes off, I'm gone. I'm not home.
Yeah, but at 6 o'clock, I now need to get up. Now I've been up since 4:30.
But guess what you've been up with?
What?
Jesus. You've been up with Jesus this whole time. Listen. Listen. The best time to get yourself right with God is when all your kids are asleep.
No, I can pray to God when my kids are around.
But you can hear him better.
No, that's your assumption.
Because when Tootie woke,
I can multitask.
Because when Tootie woke and you trying to talk to God, he like this, mommy, cup, diaper.
I know I can
milk,
multitask. You can't multitask. I can multitask.
I can't multitask.
Yep. So, what's some questions you got for me?
I think I asked you all of my questions.
Come on.
I asked you what made you stay. I asked you.
You want to know what else made me stay?
That dirt. Shh.
Anyway.
I think Pastor Tony was on here. Another question. Ooh, this is a question. What line do I have to cross to make you leave? like to make you say, you know what, I can't get over this. What is that thing that I would have to do to make you say, I can never get over this ever?
Physically cheating. Actually having a whole sexual relationship,
like the insertion of
the
my
whole sexual
penile area into someone's vaginal extract.
Sexual relationship, or just having a whole freaking girlfriend. Like, what do I look like?
That's too much energy. I ain't never doing that.
Like, whoo.
Oh, thank you, Mook. I guess I owe you, huh? I owe Mook.
I'm not doing that.
Hey, it's too much. That's too much, right? That means you gotta hide, sneak, and delete text messages, and split time, and wish that you was here but you was there. It's just too much. But listen, cheating is too much work. Here's the thing, I don't understand it. It's too much work. Cause I gotta hide. I gotta go buy me a phone over here to hide this number, and then I gotta make sure that you don't see the number. So I gotta put the phone upside down,
which is strike one, cause we don't do that.
And then I gotta make sure the numbers that I got the numbers that's calling is private. But then I gotta block them. But then if I block them, then I'm gonna see them. But then I gotta lie. Then I gotta go here.
We get the point.
It's too much. Like, cheating is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother job.
Mm-hmm. You asked me a question. So what would be your reason? What is your, like...
My reason for saying it's over with?
No, if I, like, yes.
Would be you getting pregnant and it ain't my kid?
I can't say that because you snipped. That would have been my thing, but you snipped. So.
Exactly. You getting pregnant and it ain't my child, that would be where I'll be like, you know what? I ain't raising nobody else's kid. Listen, I love children, but I ain't raising nobody else's kid. Listen, you better find your daddy. You better find a daddy. My phone is off. So, anybody got questions? Read all my last comments. Ooh, Mook, you've been commenting a lot. Then we gotta beat Tony up. Jay.
Yes, Jay.
I'll shoot you. What?
It'll be war.
Oh my God. Why is these so violent? Snooze. Okay, right? Yeah, that's literally how it be. Some days I wait till the last minute to get up.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Before we end?
Any questions concerned? Okay, before we get up out of here, I'm gonna repeat myself. We're looking for small business owners to promote.
Yes, be at the funeral crying, girl. We gonna kill Tony. We gonna be.
Oh my God.
Let me tell y'all. I'm gonna just tell y'all now.
You just interrupted my whole plan.
If Tony does anything, I'm gonna kill him. We gonna kill him, right? But I'm gonna be at his funeral, right? I'm gonna be on the floor crying, like doing a worm and everything. I'm gonna be crying. They're gonna be like, pick me
all right,
off the floor.
Listen, family. If I suddenly die and you come to my funeral and Brianna is acting the ass, she killed me.
I'm be rolling on the floor like,
and her corroborators was Courtney Jones, Samika Gore, Jay Hardy, and Jessica Keats. Those are the people that helped her kill me if I suddenly die and she's somewhere like this. Oh my God! I can't believe he died.
I'm like this.
He used to go to the gym all the time. How did he die? Oh, he ate right and everything. So, I'm just putting this out there just in case I die. But, back to my plug. If you are a small business owner, and you want a little bit more exposure, send us your don't send us. Send us a message. Tell us what your product is or your service, what you offer to people. Okay? Give us an opportunity to purchase your product or try your service. so that we can tell the people that watch us on a daily basis how your service is, how good your product is, and
hey, Courtney Crafts,
where they can find it and things like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shout out my little big sister's clothing line that she has. Well, what's the clothing line?
Clothing line. She does all her personal.
She's an arts and crafts person. Oh, the Browns should sign Malik Jackson.
Get out of my messages.
Hey, the Browns lit.
Anyway,
hey, Browns going to the Super Bowl. You heard that too.
Shout out to Courtney Crafts.
Courtney Crafts. Follow her on Facebook.
Courtney Ann Jones at Courtney Crafts.
Courtney Ann Jones, Courtney Crafts. She's commenting. She's been saying all the derogatory stuff towards me because I'm probably her favorite person in the world. She just won't admit it. Follow her at Courtney Ann Jones on Facebook. Follow her Facebook page at Courtney Crafts. Don't know if she got a Facebook page, but I know Instagram page. But I know she has a website. Her website is,
I don't know off the top of my head. Courtney, put it in the comments.
Courtney, put in the comments. Also, if you're in the Jacksonville area, see, I already got 2 businesses to shout out. Thank you, Rach. If you're in the Jacksonville area, the Jacksonville, Florida area, where we're moving to in 2 years. If you're living in the Jacksonville, Florida area and you want to have a birthday party for your child, boy, girl, doesn't matter. I want you to go search Rolling Jacks Video Games. It is a video game truck that pulls up to your house. My guy Terry Moss is a dog. You know what I'm saying? He got the PlayStations, the Xbox. He got the Nintendo. He got the virtual joints like this.
Oh, do it again.
And he be like,
oh.
You can see it all, you know what I'm saying? So if you're down in Jacksonville, Florida, and you find yourself, wanting to throw a birthday party for your child, or even for you, have a Madden tournament, a Fortnite tournament,
a 2K tournament.
A 2K tournament. I didn't even know you was on the stairs.
Come on, Sting.
You have a 2K, any type of tournament, or you just want to have a birthday party, please look up
here,
Rolling Jacks Video Games. You can look them up on Facebook also at Rolling Jacks Video Games on Facebook.
Hurry up.
Quick soft plug. Our oldest son.
He's about to be 10 next weekend. Come
Next
here,
Sunday.
babe. Get up. Come over here. This is my oldest baby. Say hi to the world.
Hello.
Why you gotta talk like that?
Where your other brother? Where your brother at?
Sleep.
No, good.
Sleep?
Yep.
Yeah. He can be asleep.
All right, guys.
Say hey.
That's our time. My name is Antonio.
I'm Brianna.
Antonio.
And we are the Levisons. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, share, view. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Welcome to the Levisons. Thank you for your time. Thank you for rocking with us. Help us grow. And we'll see you next week, next Friday at 7 p.m. for another episode.
7 p.m.
No. You gotta be shitting me.
Babe. How?
Low battery.
I told you to plug it up.
Oh, no, it was recording. It was recording the whole time.